The political storm within the African National Congress has just reached a breaking point. In a move that no one saw coming, General Mkhwanazi has officially filed a massive lawsuit against several high-ranking ANC members, accusing them of large-scale fraud, corruption, and abuse of public funds. The corridors of Parliament were thrown into chaos this morning as news of the lawsuit broke, a revelation that sent shockwaves throughout South Africa's political landscape and left many ANC officials scrambling for damage control. For months, whispers of tension between General Mkhwanazi and senior ANC officials have been circulating, but no one imagined he would take it this far. The general, known for his blunt, honesty and fearless attitude, has reportedly gathered a mountain of evidence linking several government figures to embezzlement schemes, fake contracts, and the misuse of public funds. Sources close to Mkhwanazi say he had grown increasingly frustrated by the ANC's continuous denial and attempts to sweep corruption cases under the rug. What began as quiet internal discussions, they say, turned into a fierce internal battle, one that has now exploded into full-blown legal warfare. He's not just calling them out anymore, a political insider revealed. He's taking them to court, and this time he's got the documents to back it up. Moments after the news went public, ANC headquarters reportedly went into full panic mode. Several officials allegedly met behind closed doors trying to assess how deep the case goes and, more importantly, how much knows. Insiders say phone calls were flying between ministers, lawyers, and financial backers as they scrambled to prepare for what could be the most damaging lawsuit the ANC has faced in years. A source within the ANC described the atmosphere as pure fear, saying, "They've always known Mkhwanazi doesn't bluff. When he says he has proof, he means it. And now that proof could take down more than just individuals. It could collapse entire networks of political influence." According to leaked information from those close to the investigation, the lawsuit centers on millions of rand that were allegedly diverted from government contracts and development funds into private accounts controlled by certain ANC members and their associates. The funds were originally meant for public infrastructure projects and community development programs, but according to Mkhwanazi's claims, a huge portion never reached the intended beneficiaries. Instead, the money was funneled through a web of shell companies, fake notes, and falsified reports. This revelation hits especially hard because it comes at a time when South Africans are struggling with economic hardship, unemployment, and a growing lack of trust in government leadership. General Mkhwanazi is no stranger to controversy or courage. Over the years, he's been known to speak out against injustice, even when it meant standing alone. But this time, his message is louder than ever. At a press briefing held just hours after the lawsuit was announced, Mkhwanazi didn't mince words. "Enough is enough," he declared. "The people of this nation deserve transparency. You cannot keep robbing the public, lying to their faces, and pretending to lead with integrity. If you have stolen, the law will find you." His bold statement has already sent ripples through both the ANC and opposition parties. Some praise him for his bravery, calling his move a long overdue act of accountability. Others, however, accuse him of playing politics and using the courts for personal gain. Still, those close to the case insist that Mkhwanazi's evidence is damning: detailed bank records, signed documents, and even recorded conversations implicating several senior figures. Within hours of the lawsuit being filed, ANC spokespersons went into damage control mode, issuing a brief statement dismissing Mkhwanazi's claims as baseless and politically motivated. But their statement did little to calm the public. On social media, hashtags like #OnotziBombshell, #NCFraudExposed, and #Justice for South Africa began trending as citizens demanded full transparency. Many South Africans see this as a turning point, a moment that could finally expose the corruption long whispered about within the party. One analyst remarked, "If even half of what Mkhwanazi is claiming turns out to be true, we're looking at one of the biggest scandals in ANC history. This could change the political future of South Africa entirely." Outside of Parliament, the public's patience appears to be wearing thin. Protesters gathered in several major cities, calling for a full investigation and the immediate suspension of any officials named in the lawsuit. Ordinary citizens have expressed both anger and exhaustion, saying they're tired of corruption draining the country's resources while poverty and unemployment rise. They promised a better life for all. One protester said, "But all we've seen is a better life for the few at the top." The sense of betrayal is spreading, and this lawsuit has reignited the debate about whether the ANC can still claim to represent the people. As the case heads toward court, the stakes couldn't be higher. Legal experts predict that if Mkhwanazi's lawsuit gains traction, criminal investigations could soon follow, possibly leading to arrests, resignations, and an even deeper political crisis. Meanwhile, Mkhwanazi has made it clear that he will not back down no matter the threats or pressure. "This is not about politics," he said firmly. "This is about justice." His defiance has already inspired a wave of public support and fear within political circles. Whether this case becomes South Africa's biggest anti-corruption victory or another political cover-up remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the ANC will never be the same again. The storm is just beginning and the truth is unraveling fast. What happens next could change South Africa's political future forever. Stay tuned for updates as this story develops. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major revelation in this explosive saga.